All right, Shalom. We the GMS Champagne Camp. Before we start this lesson, we're going to give all praise, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Kakadash.
The bond is due to the elders and the apostles' great millstone that rule well. All right, that taught us this truth. Peace and blessings to the whole for the elect. Hey, we back once again with another lesson to edify the lambs. Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai. May be edifying to the elect. I'm going to start off with this scripture that brothers was just, really going into and talking about. Isaiah 24:11, it says, there's a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened, and the mirth of the land is gone. And hey, that's the spirit of Babylon the Great. That mirth is gone. That happiness, everybody being happy, everybody, partying and all that shit. Reality starting to set in as Esau Edom. All right, it's putting the squeeze on this place, and really it's Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai putting the strings of Esau Edom. All right, but that squeeze is starting to get put on it. So people are starting to, really feel that recession, that depression, and that the prices of food rising and all that. It's causing people to say, hey, all this happiness and all this, kicking and the shit, that shit started going out the window. That's the Lord, Salakia, taking the mirth out of the land. Hey, the Lord gotta wake you up, some way, somehow. Right? We understand the elect is gonna wake up, but even you niggas, man, yeah, you're gonna wake up to the reality of what this world really is, man. It's a place of captivity for you. All right. The scriptures say, "Do we yet make mirth?" It's not a land. It's not a place to be making mirth at. And we were put here for a sentence.
Yeah. And with the mirth being gone, shit, people getting colder. Matthews 24:12, and because iniquity shall abound, everybody in all matters of wickedness, man. And that does something to the environment. That does something to the people's spirits. And the love of many shall wax cold, Yeah. So people taking their anger out, they can't, like us, we find comfort in the scriptures. We find comfort in knowing what's going on through the scriptures, man. And Jake, the average Jake that ain't in these scriptures, that's just, lollygagging and ain't got the comfort of these scriptures, taking their anger out on everything else, man. Trauma, they applying, they still dealing in idolatry, and they still dealing in these holidays, and they still want to go out to these clubs which ain't owned by them either. The other nations checking the bag on them. And Jake just taking it out on each other too, man.
Right.
And it's gonna get worse.
The Lord is visiting that club scene and all the bullshit. Just what that week or two ago. You had that the walls came collapsing on them Dominicans over there. That was partying and all that. And that was the Lord visiting. Showing you the Lord ain't with you tribes, turning up, and trying to live like Esau Edom. The Lord ain't with it. Right? This is real quick. It's Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 8. And it says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished, that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Right? A sword is sharpened. Hey, Esau Edom is about to come down with that sword. All right, those nuclear missiles. Hey, they're gonna destroy Babylon the Great. The scriptures say, do we yet make mirth? This, all this is about to take place. Is it still time to kick it and party and lollygag and all that? Hell no. It's time to wake the fuck up. Right? It's time to understand what time that you fucking living in. All right? Or your ass is going to get caught up in this shit, man. Come on.
This is in the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2 in the NLT. It says, when the godly are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked are in power, they groan. And going to the word groan, right, meaning to complain or protest, lament, or fuss, make a fuss. All right, that's what you see, man. People, it's tired, of the bullshit, man. All right, living under the conditions. All right, you living under, hey, it's a complaint, man. Hey, the people is mourning, Hey, we tired of this shit, man. As you just going into it. Hey, everybody, in the spirit, pretty much, hey, brothers in the spirit of what? Not wanting to go out. Everything is just, folly, man. And you starting to see, You know, and you complaining to the father, man, like, hey, this place got to go for real, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hey, brothers are sick of this shit. You know, hey, you don't get no rest here. You know, in America, man. You know,
Right. It's not a place of our rest. Going back to Micah 2:10, for this is not your rest because it is polluted. It's a polluted land. You got all these nations mingled up over here. You know, you got Jake being a bunch of fucking clown ass niggas following after Esau Edom. You know, following after all these different religions. Not taking, not harping to the men that the Lord set out, right? But instead talking shit and scoffing. That's why you got more and more scoffing videos coming out. You know, yeah, you Israelites pretty much, and you need to be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. All that. That's how you know we in the last days. Real quick, this is Romans 8:36. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are accounted as sheep for the slaughter. Right? And that's the Lord's people. You know, they like sheep to the slaughter. And Esau Edom is setting motherfuckers up, right, to get slaughtered. You know? And we set up to blow the trumpet to warn you what Esau Edom about to do. Where real talk, Esau Edom is about to come with that, with that Quran one. You know? He probably put the squeeze on going to the store and being able to buy and sell, all right, without giving in to his, his system. You know, that new world order he about to bring in. You know, and it's all fun and games. You know, Jake think we just talking and we just saying the same. Well, the Lord got us saying the same things over and over. I don't go fuck you niggas don't. Oh, they say the same thing every week. That's the Lord, man. The Lord got us saying these things because these things are about to come, man. Right? So, hey, the Lord's people like sheep to the slaughter, man.
Vision gonna be made plain, man. You know, and it's meant to be said the same thing, so you won't have no excuse. We said the same thing,
Right,
over and over. You have no excuse. Now judgment's finna hit you. You know, you got no excuse, man. We said the same shit. It's a warning, 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 warning. Same words. Warning, warning, warning. And you despised it.
right,
You threw it behind you. Right? Now pitiful case is coming.
right.
I got Romans 13, verse 11, NLT. This is all the more urgent. You know, this is urgent. This is like an urgent message. You know, for you know how late it is. Time is running out. All right. That grace period is about to be closing, man. They got the famine of the word coming. Real famines are finna start coming. We hear that the ports are getting more and more lighter and different. Things are not coming in due to those tariffs. Nothing is being solved with the tariffs right now. All right. So there's going to be famine coming. You know, real live famine. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer now than when we first believed. The night is almost gone. The day of salvation will soon be here. So remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes. All right, and that's what Jake don't want to give up, man. Jake and even Esau. Esau don't want to give this shit up, man. He don't want to give his kingdom up, and Jake don't want to give Egypt. You know, he want to go down to Egypt for help. You know, they want to give that shit up, man. They want to still get all up in wickedness and put on the shining armor of right living, and that's what we're doing. You know, we're fighting the flesh day to day, man. We're staying away from it. We have discernment of the times. It doesn't make sense to be often among these wicked motherfuckers that don't have a clue what's going on. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to even, because the scripture say be sober and vigilant. Jake is kind of laying off the yayan and all that shit, man, and that's good. And put on the shining armor of the right living, because we belong to the day. We must live decent lives for all to see, That's letting your light shine, Don't participate in the darkness of wild parties and drunkenness, or in sexual promiscuity and immoral living, or in quarreling and jealousy, right? And we find, like I said, we find comfort in this word. You got these people with mental illness, really just plagued with spirits, where they go and they feel like they satisfy, or they express their traumas, their spirits, through sex, to going out partying and drinking, being among, because the Lord said, be holy, be set apart. They want to be joined together with people that's in partying and sexual shit, and they're under strong delusion, and they're gonna be part of the plague. They're gonna be part of the pestilence. You know, that's gonna happen, man. You know, and the Lord is just, man. The Lord is doing beautiful work by by being a man of His word through these prophecies, man. You know, He's doing beautiful work, man, and we can see it. Blessed are the eyes to see and the ears to hear, man. We can see it clear as day, backflipping off the pages, you know.
Got something for you, Hawk. We'll break it down. This is the book Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 4 in the NLT. It says, a wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time.
A wise person, like, man, you know, I want the Lord. You step outside, man. Oh Lord, how much man shall protect me, man? Because man, I could die. I can get, road rage can easily happen. You know, something. That's what wise men do. We, because we have discernment and we know the wisdom and knowledge be the stability of that time. But a fool, he's just kicking it, man. Run that back.
It says, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 4 in the NLT. A wise person thinks a lot about death, while a fool thinks only about having a good time.
Yeah, and that's what all these people want to do is just have good times. They're fools. They're fools of their own flesh. And what their sins will find them out, Their sins will find them out, man. They're fools, man. When you find, we all on social media all the time, man. And all you see is people having a good time. Ain't that much good time in the world. If you and you're not even watching what the fuck's going on, it's like, wow, it's all an illusion to it. They're not really having a fucking good time, Nobody's really having a good time for real. I don't give a fuck if you take a trip to Italy, man. It's some shit going on in Italy. It's some shit going on over here, You're taking the demons that you have, that depression demon. You're taking all the fucking those legions that you got that Jake got in their body wherever you go. So you're not having a good time. You just trying. I don't know what you're doing, but you're just leading yourself to death, man. What is it? What seems right in to a man, but the end thereof is death. These people are fucking loonies, bro. They're fucking bugged out, man, and they don't know where to go, and they don't care to even listen to where to go.
Precept for you, the Spirit is Proverbs 11:21. It says, "No hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered."
God, no hand join hand, man. The wicked. The Lord give these people, a sense of, man, I'm gonna get away with this, but they only do nothing but putting themselves more and more into a solidified judgment that's coming, and we're putting in work, man. We're putting in work because we want that salvation. I don't want to be caught up in the hands of the Lord on some. I don't want that, man. Because that's terrible. I don't want that, man. And these brothers here don't either, man. And the wicked, they look at us crazy, but we looking at them crazy. You know what I'm saying? And we know we in the right stance though. We know we on the right stand. We on the right side. And they on some shit like, they think they just, until boom, till shit start happening. Then they start calling for God. When a motherfucker gets shot, he could say all this crazy. Look at young, just an example. Look at Boosie, little Goofy. He done sat up there and cursed the Lord, and now he having heart problems. The doctors don't even know what the hell to say. Oh, I need to cayenne pepper, this and that. No, the Lord said He kills, He heals. Right. Ultimately, if you ain't getting close to the Lord, man, you're gonna be put to death, man. That judgment is hitting everybody, man. They just putting up a facade on these phones and on the social media, man. They putting up a facade. This is the era of facadeness, man. We see through these motherfuckers, man. And death is slowly kicking their ass.
Yeah. It's the saying in the world that the road to hell feel like heaven, and the road to heaven feel like hell. So people would rather dwell where it feel good at, even though they on their way to destruction. Oh yeah, it feel good. You feel free. You feel like you self-will, you can do whatever you want to do to please the flesh. Alright, but in the long run, you about to get fucking destroyed. Alright, but the road to the kingdom, that feel like hell because you are catching hell. You know, you trying to be righteous in a wicked ass world. Alright, you make yourself a prey to these people. And everybody come against you, even your own family members will come against you. It's book of Matthew chapter 7, verse 11. It says, if ye then being evil, knowing how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men shall do to you, do ye even to them, for this is the law of the prophets. It says, enter ye into the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which goeth in thereat. Right? So you know that straight gate, that's what we ought to enter, man. You know, it's a straight, you know, a narrow path, right? That you got to stay balanced on, you know, and just keep straight. But you know, broad, you know, is that way of destruction. Broad is where everybody want to be, everybody want to kick it, everybody want to feel good, but that's the way to destruction. Verse 14, it says, because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. So only a few going to find the true 100% wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai to even enter, you know, into, you know, that path of, you know, righteousness, man. You know? But everybody going to go the broad way because they feel good, you know? They ain't got nothing to worry about. They ain't fighting demons. They letting their demons come take control over there. That's why these people fighting, knocking themselves out. The demons to control. They ain't putting up no fight. Yeah. And the scripture it talks about it, roughly paraphrasing, a spirit broken down without walls. It's like unto a, you know, Bob Kashah.
I was gonna say, you know, you go into that word straight, you know, not really meaning straight, but it means you go into it, meaning adversity, you know?
Difficulty.
So, difficulty, man.
Right.
You know, which Jake don't want to go through, you know? Yeah. Jake rather choose the other route, which is death.
Right.
You know?
And it ain't grievous. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the Lord ain't gonna give you much more than that you can't, you know, too much where you can't handle it. You know?
I got that for you.
Come. What?
Proverbs 25:28 says, he that have no rule over his spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
Right. You know, Jake don't want to rule over his own spirit. You know? Jake let whatever demons come in and just take control and end up doing all type of, you know, wickedness and giving into a bunch of shit. You ain't putting up no fight for real. That's a lot of these 2/3 ass niggas. You know? And the demons, they tell the motherfuckers, hey, they drink, they put spirits on. That's what that go into spirits. Right? And all these different spirits come in and niggas doing all type of shit and they getting themselves killed. You know, it's all funny games to a nigga fucking brains just hanging on the street, man. Or a bitch that flew out of a car or something. Then everybody crying and weeping and all that. We don't weep for them type of niggas, man. You know? The Lord gave them over to that.
Because that's what they wanted to follow. I got something for
you.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 2, NLT. You must not follow the crowd in doing wrong. When you are called to testify in a dispute, do not be swayed by the crowd to twist judgment. You know, so you know we already know. Hey, anything happen, you find yourself over here with all this wickedness, and you're indulged in it, and something happened to you, or something happened to somebody's near to you. You know, hey, you got to know that's judgment, man. Ain't nobody finna twist up nothing. Just it was good. It shouldn't happen. No, y'all was in the midst of that. You know. So you ask for that, man. Well, don't pity the who will pity the charmer, man. You know, roughly paraphrasing, man. Ain't nobody finna pity none of y'all goofy mogs. You know, goofy mog and the dog. You know.
That's right, bro. So real quick, this 14. Actually, this is too. All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 14, in the NLT. Proverbs 14:14, it says, enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil man. It says, avoid it. Actually, this is still in the KJV. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall, right? And that's talking about Esau, Edom, but that's talking about 2/3 of you niggas too, and evil men, period. All right, the scripture say, pass not by it, avoid it at all costs, man. Avoid being around these niggas because when you see a bunch of niggas, something gonna pop off. It's gonna be some type of judgment. All right, and if you around it, you can fuck around and get caught up in it, just from being around it, So, hey, you don't even pass by that shit. Right? And it said, they sleep not unless they cause somebody to fall. Right? And that's true, Esau, Edom. Hey, this devil can't sleep unless he done some wickedness. But 2/3 just like him. That's why the scripture say you're the father of the devil and the lust that you will do. So you got niggas, hey, they whole goal is, to get you to do something off too. And they might not even, it's the demons on their ass, man. Right? Your family, they be the main motherfuckers, and that's why the spirit been on brother to say stay away from them fucking family members. Because they'll get you to do some off ass shit. And they don't even realize what they doing, but it's demons on them. You can't be all involved with their ass, man.
I got something for you. Proverbs 22, verse 3. King James. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
Right.
But the simple pass on and are punished.
Exactly. A prudent man, a wise man foreseeth the evil. All right, you see this shit, you can look and say, this shit's evil. This shit is wicked. And you hide yourself. And the spirit been having brothers like, man, I'm not doing certain type of shit. I'm going to withdraw because I know that this shit is wicked. Papa, shall we read the last part?
And, but the simple pass on and
Right.
are punished.
Exactly, but the simple pass on and are punished. The simple gonna run to it. And the Lord said he hate feet that run to mischief. All right, the Lord don't like no nigga who always in folly or on his way to mischief. Like these niggas got spirits on them. That they see some police lights, they'll go run to it. Or they know, it's a fight over there, these niggas gonna grab their phone and they'll run to it. All right, and the Lord will judge them niggas, man, just for doing that. The Lord hate feet that run to mischief, man.
I got one more. Proverbs 27, verse 12. A prudent person, NLT, a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions.
Right.
The simpletons goes blindly on and suffers the consequences.
Right. And spiritually, this is us taking precaution. We see the evil, so what? We take a precaution by, hey, come and see how about Shemi Awashah, who's going to be that covering, who's going to keep brothers away, keep our hour from being taken, by Esau, Edom, the Karabma, a nigga just coming and blasting your ass away, because the Lord can't have that set up. That's what apostles always say. You should be praying before you leave out the door. Where you going and coming back home, yeah, you don't just leave out the fucking door. You ain't supposed to be putting prayers up, man. The Lord gave you these prayers for a reason. He gave you the understanding for a reason. And when the Lord sees you're not applying that to your life and you're not really using it, the Lord like, man, you useful. As scripture say, there's one that teaches many, but is yet unprofitable unto himself. All right. So at one point, on one end, you teaching everybody, but you're not applying everything that the Lord gave you. The Lord gave you way more than these niggas, and you ain't using it. The Lord gonna say, man, I can't really use you, and the Lord can put the spirit on your ass to go back into the world.
It's high time to wake up out of sleep to be set apart from this shit, man. Because it's getting more concentrated.
Right, because the demons attacking, man. And Satan is attacking, and he desires to sift as wheat. And it's a sad thing because you see the numbers of brothers. It ain't no joke. You see the numbers and they starting to increase. We getting close to the end. Brothers is falling the fuck away. They getting weak, and that's Satan attacking, and brothers ain't fighting back. We should be fighting. That's why the spirit been on the Hebrew. Heavy on the Hebrew, because that's what's strong. Same thing other than Hebrew and translated don't have much power, so got to be up on it. You got to really get grounded, man. Get grounded more and more. Satan wants you out of here. Your family wants you out of here. Your woman wants you out of there. All these things of the world, it wants you. It's designed to fight against the men of the Lord.
I guess one.
Come on, bro.
Proverbs 1:22. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in scorning? and the fools hate knowledge.
That's right. How long you simple was when you love simplicity, and niggas they love being simple. You know they live for it, right? You know you see all these videos and you see Jake don't put no truth behind it. It's just a bunch of folly. You see a nigga make a post and he'll say some folly behind it. We be like, what the fuck? Like really? You know?
I was just looking into this word for simplicity. And it goes into being foolish, naive, or open-minded. Niggas so willing to accept different shit in this goddamn mind all the time, man. And when you look at Esau, that's what tells you, oh, be open-minded. Pretty much accept all his bullshit.
Pretty much be a whore to all my idolatries and be a whore. Just try it. You know, have no boundaries. Don't have a backbone. Just do it.
But the Lord said he equates that to being foolish.
You know.
Fools hate knowledge, man.
Yep.
Yep.
Isaiah 33 verse 6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time, and strength of salvation in fear of the Lord is his treasure. So if nobody's working on the knowledge of this true knowledge right now, and cultivating like you grow a garden and being fruitful, if nobody's doing that, then they're doomed, man. They're gonna get their ass blasted on because they don't have no stability. You won't stand upright. You won't stand at all. You're gonna be scared, falling into oblivion, man. You know, because fearing the Lord is the beginning of this manhood, and when the times to come, it's gonna be some third world country shit. You know, these so-called men are gonna be like bitches in the time, man. They won't be able to stand. They're gonna be too scared to stand.
Another strong definition for that word goes into seducible.
Seducible.
So you easily you go into the definition for that. It goes into somebody being led away.
Yeah, easily got. You just
Yeah,
easily.
So you simple niggas can be easily led away, you know.
You know?
And what you being led away from is your how about Shimmy on shot.
You're not deeply rooted, fully persuaded. You know, when you deeply rooted like a tree in the ground, you know, and you can and the trees they produce fruit and all that stuff. If you're not deeply rooted, man, it's anything of adversity, then you just gonna get got, man. It's over with. It's totally over with, man. And we're gonna see that in this time because people just be talking. People just be you know, with Timothy with the list, will be backbiters. There'll be this, there'll be that. People that have the appearance of godliness, but not of godliness. You know what I'm saying? People, they go, the front gonna be right out the window. Ain't no more fronting. It's gonna be test time because the whole earth gonna be tested. It's test time now. Ain't none of the fronting. And the whole world is gonna be tested at our temptation. You know, at Jacob's trouble. It's gonna be some real testing going on, man. And if you ain't in the gym, you know what I mean by gym, if you ain't in these scriptures and you do, you know, and applying yourself day to day, you know, man, it's gonna be ugly. The face is gonna be turned to paleness, you know. They gonna be scared like a woman in travail holding their loins and shit. They gonna be scared. They gonna be straight bitches, man. And you got guys with guns and shit like that, man. That gun ain't gonna shoot down an illness. That gun ain't gonna shoot down no fucking hunger attack, you know. It's other ways Esau attacks. It's other ways the Lord judges people, you know. But they don't realize that until the time comes.
I got something for you, bro. This is Proverbs 8:5. It says, "O ye simple, understand wisdom. Ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart."
Not that bad. NLT tells you that too.
Okay. Proverbs 8:5. O ye simple, understand wisdom, and ye fools, be ye of an understanding heart. Right? So yeah, this is the Lord saying that you simple niggas, you need to understand wisdom.
Oh, he's telling them to understand. Okay.
Right. You fools be of an understanding heart. You should be trying to really, you know, seek the understanding of the Lord, man. You know, the prophets I'm seeing, we've been telling you today, time after time, what's about to come. And when it comes, hey, it's gonna catch a lot of you niggas by surprise. Even a lot of Jake that claim to be in the truth is gonna catch your ass by surprise if you ain't on point. Right? It says, Psalms 94:8, understand ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? So the Lord is asking, when is you niggas gonna stop the bullshit? When you niggas gonna really come to the light and understand what the fuck going on? Esau Edom is about to come kill you and your family. That's this whole goal. Esau Edom is trying to come kill you and your family and put y'all to death, put y'all in concentration camp, chop y'all ass up, and have his way with y'all. And if you ain't on the good side of the Lord gonna give you over to it. You know? The Lord ain't gonna save you. He just gonna give you over to it.
First Peter 5:8. Be sober and vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And sober and vigilant meaning, even weed, smoking, or all this shit, and being sober from these idolatries, man. Being sober from what Jake ain't sober from, because once you cut out everything that we've been hit with this world, like birthdays and all this shit, and then who Esau is, who your enemy is, and once you even being drunk off the white supremacy that Esau has put onto us, being drunk off of all that shit. Once you get sober from it, you're more alert. You got discernment. Your discernment is grown. Your circumspect is grown. Because the devil coming on all angles, like what we wrestle not against just flesh and blood. You gotta put that whole armor on, man, and not be drunk off this shit, man. Don't even play with the damn that shit, man, because this devil is coming down. Revelations 12:12, man, it's coming down, and Jake is getting hit right now, as we speak. It's starting to be an uptick of police officers because they have no immunity no more. Uptick of police officers going and doing and putting down judgment on motherfuckers, man. It's finna get even worse, man, and Jake don't really see it. He caught up in other shit,
Real quick, this is Jeremiah 11:14. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or a prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. Right? So, hey, we ain't here, to truly, be about you niggas. We ain't here to pray for you niggas, man. We here to just give you the warning to get the blood off our hands. But man, the Lord told us don't pray, don't cry for these niggas, man. He ain't gonna hear you in that time of trouble.
Fuck you niggas.
Cause you